Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever Bedrock Edition farm. Today I will be showing you how to build a tree farm. This tree farm only works for oak trees, but it is extremely efficient and super easy to build. A quick demonstration of how this works. Normally, someone would stand here, hold down the place button, that's the destroy button, hold down the place button, and turn on the bone meal dispenser. Then every time a tree would grow, hopefully in a moment here, pistons will extend, pull it back, and then push it into this row right here. You could then extend, there is an example, you could then have a TNT blaster, a gas chamber, or you could just mine the wood with an axe. The rates for this farm are right here. I tested it for about 10 minutes a couple times, and they were both pretty similar. The main problem, however, is it uses an extremely large amount of bone meal. In just 10 minutes, it goes through 22 stacks of bone meal and 35 saplings. Most of those saplings, however, are replaced and go into hoppers and then into chests. Also produces 3 stacks of logs and, of course, a few apples and a few sticks. The way this farm works is when you turn it on, there is a simple redstone clock underneath here that constantly provides the sapling with bone meal. When the tree grows, the comparator right here reads the bone meal in the dispenser. There's a block there, the comparator reads it, and it pushes everything in that direction. We seem to have broken it by putting the block there, but I'll get it fixed in a moment. Right now I have a command block placing the saplings every time one is destroyed just to simulate the player. That also probably led to it breaking. Then all the leaves, most of the leaves are right here or right here. Occasionally you'll get leaves out here, but most of the time they'll be here. The hoppers will pick it up and take all the saplings, sticks, and apples to these 2 chests, which then you can very easily pick up your saplings and continue planting. This farm is also super cheap. The most expensive thing in this farm is most likely the hoppers or the pistons, but other than that, it is extremely cheap to build. I will put up a item list that are required to build on screen now. Take a picture of that, or there should be a list in the description as well. As you can see, super cheap, and for the amount of wood it produces is extremely useful as well. This farm is extremely conducive if you want to add different add-ons to it. As I mentioned before, you could add a TNT or gas chamber. This is also a simple hopper line that leads to the dispenser if you needed a bone meal farm on top because it goes through so much bone meal. You could also add something right here, such as a simple piston extender, to destroy more leaves to increase the amount of saplings that are produced. The simple way it works, if we go over some of the redstone right here, is as I mentioned before, when the tree grows and the comparator senses it, it first sends a signal to this red piston line right here. The red pushes all the pistons out at the same time, then is retracted by this yellow piston line, and then is pushed forward with the green piston line. Let's take one more good look at that. The piston's working. If we place the sapling there, turn on the farm, and fly around here, the red will extend, then the green, or then the yellow, then the green. Red, yellow, green. So once the tree grows, and the wood gets pushed onto this line. Alright, so let's get started on the tutorial. You're going to want an 11 by 8 space that is 8 tall and a couple layers under the ground. The place you are going to be placing your sapling is going to be 5 from the corner and 5 in. This is where your wood is going to be exiting. So while it is 11 by 8, the wood is going to take up some extra room over there. We're going to start by placing a dispenser right there with a redstone comparator right there. We're then going to do a stack of 5 pistons, and then a stack of sticky pistons 2 away from that grass block. Again, 5 sticky pistons. Then let's do another stack of 5 pistons right here. And as you can see, that lines up with the opening right there. We are then going to build the redstone line that activates all the pistons at once. It may look complicated, but once you build one of them, it is all the same for the rest of them, so it's quite simple. You're going to start by placing a very pattern of blocks right there. You're then going to want to place a repeater going into each of those blocks. So if we do it like that, you're going to want to have a repeater on each of those and a repeater on each of those. You're going to have the block come out by 1 on each one of them, and place redstone dust at the end of each of these. And now it's just a matter of connecting them up. So start with a line of 3 right there, 3 redstone on top of that. You're then going to go down 1 and place redstone on this one, and then you're going to go down 1 more in the middle and place a redstone right there. Then you're going to want to place another block right there, another redstone on top of that, and then connect up the remaining redstone. We're going to do that 2 more times on each of these rows of pistons. So again, alternating blocks going up, and then blocks here and here, repeaters going into each one of those. I think I got rid of this block accidentally. And then a redstone on each of the ones sticking out of there. Then the line of 2 more redstone on each of those, going down 1, and then going down 1 again. Place redstone on each of those. And then finally down 1 more to connect up the rest. And then 1 more time. Alternating repeaters. Cannot seem to be placing placing blocks properly. Repeaters on each of these as well. And then some more blocks for the redstone. And then line of 2 more. Going down 1. Then going down another one. Then going down to the floor. Redstone on all of those. And connect them all up. So that's the pistons. They will all fire at the same time. Make sure they all have 1 tick on the repeaters so that there aren't any delays. We're then going to want to connect the signal for when a tree has grown. We're going to want to connect it to all of these. So we're going to start by running a simple redstone signal to there. You're going to want to be sure you have a repeater somewhere in there to make sure the signal travels all the way up. You're then going to want to, most likely, you'll want to dig under the ground a couple, just to have a pathway when you are walking here. You can do a repeater right there is what I did. That way you can have a block on top of that. But basically you just want a thing right there. You're going to want to put this back a couple ticks because this non-sticky piston line needs to go back, it needs to push later than this one. This one needs to pull, then this one needs to push. So, but then we're also going to connect up this one, and this one also needs to go under the ground so that it is not broken by the tree or the wood that is coming out from there. So again, if we put a repeater right there and then just connect that up. This one is going to be want to be on a few more ticks than this one. This one, see, has 1 tick. This one has 3 ticks, so it goes this one, and then this one should most likely have another repeater. That way, this one goes last. So be sure you take a good look at that. Make sure you got that down. And then we have the system that will constantly fire out bone meal from this dispenser. And to do that, you're going to want to have a redstone torch underneath on a block, as well as a lever on that block, and then another redstone torch on the side of that block. You're then going to have a very small redstone line going around here with a repeater going into there. Then when you flick the lever, what have I done wrong? Oh, this one should be facing that way. Then when you flick the lever, it will start a quick redstone clock that fires out the bone meal that's in there. Now, just a quick clarifier, this one should be on 1 tick. These 2 over here should be on a total of 6 ticks. That's what we have. We have 4 and then 2. And this one over here should actually be on 4 ticks. And if you want to move the redstone around a little bit, like whatever you want to do is fine. Maybe lower this into the ground a little bit to have a better walkway. Now, let us make some hopper trails. So, first off, this hopper trail doesn't actually need to be there if you aren't going to be having a bone meal farm on top, but because this dispenser can only hold 9 stacks of 9 stacks of bone meal. This dispenser can only hold 9 stacks of Bone meal, if you're going to be having more than 9 stacks of bone meal put in, which is highly suggested, the farm can only run for about 4 minutes with 9 stacks. You're going to want hoppers anyway, maybe with a chest at the top, if you're not going to have a bone meal farm. Then everywhere else, basically, you are going to want a hopper line going into some chests. Most likely you're going to have your chest right here. So if we throw down a chest right there with a hopper going into that, another hopper going into there, you want to be sure not to have any hoppers along here or in here. But other than that, you can have hoppers basically anywhere, as large of an area as you need. I would suggest about a 3 by 4, maybe 3 by 5. About that size, maybe even one larger. Because you want to be collecting as many saplings as possible so you don't run out as quickly. Also, sometimes leaves will grow around on this side, so you just have a quick hopper trail going around here just to collect any leaves that do end up on this side over here. And that should be all the hopper trails down. If you do want to throw more hoppers over here, more hoppers in here, or even around the back here, go ahead and do that just to collect as many leaves as possible. The final thing we are going to want to do is to these pistons go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to go 1, 2 above that and place a block above where the tree would grow. This is to stop the tree from being too large and growing branches, because we would be unable to harvest the branches and that would potentially break the farm. So that block is very important. Now let's do a real quick check that it works. We're going to take the oak sapling, place it right there, turn on the bone meal dispenser, and then just hold down the place button. And once the tree grows, it'll be pushed by the pistons and taken away, and then the next sapling will automatically be placed. And there we go. And as you can see, there is a sapling right in front of us. So I'm actually going to turn off the farm. The tree grew. Turn off the farm. There will be saplings that will not be picked up by the dispenser or by the hoppers. Unfortunately, there is no way around that. But it does look like we may have picked up a single sapling in the short amount of time that was going. So as more trees were grown, this would go longer, and as I've said multiple times before, you could have multiple ways to collect this, whether you want it to be a gas chamber, TNT chamber, just your axe, or even you could have more pistons along here, that when the trees when the line of logs gets too long, the wood gets pushed out that way, and then you could have a big block of wood. The only thing is, you just want to be sure that this piston can push all of the wood. Pistons can only push 12 blocks, so make sure this does not go, whatever you're planning on doing doesn't have more than 12 blocks. That is the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions, any suggestions, or anything else you'd like to share, go ahead and put it in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, because you were here. You was here. Man, I messed that up. Messed up my motto. And but other than that, it has been a great time. I had a great time designing this, lots of fun, and I hope it is extremely useful in your worlds. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you later.